Oil prices are recovering slightly after falling overnight on the expectation of weak demand from major consumers. The first red flag raising worries among investors is China's refusal to report its third quarter economic data. That's fueled speculation that the world's second largest economy went through a slowdown in the 3 months to September. Meanwhile, in the U.S., President Joe Biden is reportedly planning to release more oil from the nation's emergency reserves. That would be ahead of next month's midterm elections. Washington's move also follows the decision by the world's oil cartel, OPEC+, to reduce the amount of fuel that they pump out of the ground.
I would like to reiterate that there is nothing political about any decision we take within OPEC. We come from different countries. As you know, we have 20 plus countries, and there is no way that politically all of them, they will agree on one thing. But despite that, this is a technical organization.
Now, for more on the story, let's go to Danni Hewson. She's a financial analyst at AJ Bell in the UK. Welcome back to the program. Danni, now, the U.S. releasing more of its strategic reserves to keep gasoline prices down. What else could Washington do to punish the OPEC Plus alliance, which President Joe Biden has promised he would do?
Yes, he has promised that that is what he will do, though he hasn't been exactly clear on what measures he would look to implement. Certainly, he could look to cut down on military and security aid. He could look to cut arms spending, weapons that are sold to places like Saudi Arabia, and limit security cooperation to just what is absolutely necessary. There is also the potential that he could look at tweaking antitrust laws in the United States, which would effectively give the Attorney General there an option to sue OPEC members in court, though at the moment we don't know exactly how that would work. The other option, of course, is to invest in things like shale gas reserves in the United States to increase production there, which would mean that the United States relies less on foreign oil.
Right, so that's the supply side of the equation, but on the demand side, the major thing that's really moving oil markets is the state of the global economy. So what is the current view on the likelihood of a major recession later this year or even next year? We know the IMF and the World Bank have already warned that it is increasingly likely. So what have investors priced in?
Yeah, I mean, we have been told as well by central banks like the Bank of England here in the UK and the Federal Reserve that they are doing absolutely everything they can to curb inflation. That is their number one priority. And because of that, people in the respective countries have to expect that that is going to come with some kind of pain. And the expectation is that that will bring recession. As you say, the IMF is warning that next year will feel like a recession. And certainly everything that we're seeing so far and the fact that we haven't had an update from China would suggest that that is definitely on the cards. And we've just seen the volatility in markets this year as markets really try and get ahead of the game. They sell shares that they perhaps think won't weather a recession particularly well and buy up in areas where they think it will give them some kind of protection.
All right, Danni Hewson, AJ Bell in the UK. Always a pleasure to have you on.